This is an add-on to the last few, where it's like I've been around a lot of people who don't love themselves and don't look at their shadow and don't hear the lies they're telling themselves or what they're hinging where or this or that. And so, I've shared this with you over time. So it's like I can hear things and see things and understand things that I don't understand how or why or what or any of that, yet it hurts me. And so I will respond to that hatred. And it can, I guess it's confusing for others too, when they're like, I know I didn't say that out loud. Why is she behaving that way or whatnot? And so it can confuse all of us, because I'm like, oh, I was certain you did say that out loud because I can hear it, right? And I can see it, I can feel it, and all these things. And so it's like, it's something around this. It's like, because it was so hurtful and painful for me, right? I have attempted to, I guess, recreate it and fix it, right? Which could have been like, maybe I was picking up on that stuff from even my mother before my mother passed when I was 5. Like maybe that was part of it, was I wasn't able to, like maybe it's this wrong mishinge I never knew I had about I couldn't help her, right? And so I kept calling in broken birds, people who were lying to themselves or telling themselves the wrong thing, so that I could untangle their knots for them. And yet that's not my job, and I can't do that. Everybody has to take control of their own mind. And so it's like I kept putting myself in painful positions, thinking it would have a different outcome. This is what we do until we recognize what we're doing and making a different choice. I'm choosing to love me instead of putting other people's demons ahead of my own good feelings, you see? And so, oh God, this is like a heavy one. I feel like I'm releasing. It's this understanding of, I'm choosing me, right? Figure it out yourself. And it's like I do like to share what I've learned from my experiences. I like sharing it this way in my art form and in my way. It's like, so I'm not making, it's like new lies or ties, or it's like no longer choosing to engage or call in and untangle knots for people when they can do it themselves, and they need to. They must take charge of themselves in their own mind. And this whole podcast is attempting to teach you and help you and show you examples time after time again of doing such, as well as millions of people and programs and art and all types of ways that it's being shared, the same message as to learning how to fully, truly understand yourself, get to know yourself. That is connecting with the universe. That is loving oneself, so that you can mirror back. The universe can mirror that back to you, loving you, right? But you have to choose, and you have to know you and what you're doing. And if you're running backwards, right? Because if you've been listening, that was a big part of it for me, is having things like twisted or upside down or backwards, because it's like misunderstanding what was others and what was mine, and what was my responsibility and what was others' responsibility, and taking on too much and overburdening myself and ultimately harming myself. But I was making that choice. It's like we have to separate ourselves, separate our energy, choose for ourselves, listen to ourselves, go inward and connect. And it doesn't mean I can't still share what I've learned and how I'm healing and how I love myself. And because there is portions of it that I love, yet I will mishinge or misassociate like your pain as my pain, right? When it's not. And it's like, I've already done that work. I've already done my work. I don't need to do your work too, just because I can. That this kind of mentality where it's like, no, I can share and teach you, and you can listen and choose to learn, hear, be teachable, and teach yourself and learn yourself and connect yourself to get all your answers, or not. It's a choice for you as well. But it's the idea of like not needing to muddle or mix or confuse or tangle up my own feeling body and mind with others. They want me to say more around this. It's like it's having the capability and the blessing of, it's like that blessing and curse, but to utilize it as the blessing that it is, and choosing to turn it on and choosing to turn it off. and knowing when to and when not to, and how to disconnect so that I am honoring and loving myself. And I do obviously for me, based on what I'm sharing with you, you understand that obviously I'd love it if everybody was at peace within oneself, because the more that are, for obvious mathematical reasons, and for the fact that so many of us that do feel so deeply, we could find an even deeper sense of peace. Now, we can find peace because we can choose and learn how to turn it off so that we are choosing our thoughts, our feelings, and focusing in a way that feels amazing for us and setting that example for others. Yet you can understand why people who are very empathetic, it's like have that deep desire for everybody to feel peace within inside themselves, because they can feel and hear your screaming thoughts. So it's like we don't have to control others or their screaming thoughts, but we do have to control our own and separate the two to honor ourselves and to find that peace within. And just simply by doing that, it's setting a beautiful example for others. And then they too can make their own choices. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.